Hi, my name is Alex, and today my mom and I are going to be teaching you how to make pastelillos de carne, which are Puerto Rican meat pies. You will need a few ingredients to start: a pound of ground beef, a shallot, an egg, one package of frozen empanada dough, 5 tablespoons of sofrito, and some adobo all-purpose seasoning. My mom first starts by cutting up a shallot. Today we're going to be baking our pastelillos rather than frying them, which is more traditional, for a healthier version of the dish. Pastelillos are a very common dish in Puerto Rico. Our local church even sells them after Mass in huge quantities each week. They're perfect as a meal or just as a snack on the go. Once my mom is done cutting the shallots, she adds oil to the bottom of a pan on medium heat and will begin to cook them for about 5 minutes. She doesn't really brown the shallots, she just makes sure they're cooked all the way through so they don't have as strong of a flavor. And then she'll add the beef. She basically adds the beef all at once and then lets it brown completely. It's really important that the meat is cooked all the way through because once it's put in the empanada dough, it doesn't really have a chance to cook up as much. My family usually eats pastelillos with this beef mixture, but you could really put whatever you want in the empanada pockets. Chicken, steak, vegetables, cheese. The possibilities are really endless. Next, you add the sofrito, which is probably the most important ingredient to make it a Puerto Rican dish. Sofrito is the ingredient mixture that's the cornerstone of almost all Puerto Rican cooking. You can make your own or buy it like we did at the store. Some of the ingredients in it are peppers, garlic, onion, cilantro, and a lot more. My mom usually adds about 5 tablespoons for this much beef and mixes it while cooking, but you could really add as much as you want depending on how much flavor you want the meat to have. After my mom mixes that up, she'll add the adobo all-purpose seasoning mix. It's a really important spice mixture that is basically used to season all meats in Puerto Rican cooking. It contains salt, granulated garlic, oregano, black pepper, and turmeric. As you can see, my mom really never measures how much she puts in, but it usually ends up being a generous amount. You can always add in a little bit at a time and taste it to make sure it fits your palate. After my mom has that tasting the way she wants it, she'll whisk up an egg to prepare her station for assembling the pastelillos, and then she'll preheat the oven to 375 degrees. The empanada wrappers are sold frozen, so make sure you let them thaw before you begin the process. You might be wondering what the difference between an empanada and a pastelillo is, and the answer is not much. They're essentially the same thing, but just called different things by different cultures. To assemble, spoon a small amount of the beef onto 1/2 of the dough circle. My mom usually sticks to about 2 tablespoons per pastelillo. Next, you're going to want to fold in half and seal. To seal the pastelillos, you're going to want to take a fork and press down around the outer perimeter. You want to make sure you flip it over at some point and do both sides, so none of the meat falls out when you're cooking it. This is especially important if you're going to end up frying them instead of baking them, because they will just fall apart. Then my mom uses a cooking brush to brush on a light wash of the egg so they get a nice golden brown color in the oven. Now my mom will put them in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. The baking time kind of differs, but they're safe to pull out when they get a nice golden brown color. Just make sure to check on them periodically. Once they're done, they won't be as brown as the fried ones, but they will have a nice golden layer on top. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy.